sometimes when you're going through trials, it takes a while to get your desired result. And the reason why is because of, like it said in the book of Deuteronomy, the children of Israel, they kept complaining when they were coming out of Egypt. They kept complaining, kept complaining. Well, if it's going to be like this, if it was going to be like this, then we should have just stayed in captivity, blah, 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 whatever, whatnot, right? So whenever they would have a miracle happen, and I'm going to tell you this from personal experience, whenever something good would happen, it's still like they be going through it, going through the trial, going through the test, right? It'd be something still going on. But it's still, they're still not where they want to be. They're still going through the journey. So they would complain about uh, why they're not pretty much at their destination. Okay, so let me say this again. They would complain that they're not at their destination because they were still going through the journey. So even though a blessing would come, they didn't really recognize it because they were not pleased that they were still going through the journey and have not reached their destination. So, for prime example, I've been going through a major storm and been going through it for some time. And, when you're going through a storm, some parts of the storm, like when you're at the eye of the storm, right? It gets really bad. If you're at the eye of the storm, meaning, the center of the storm, the climax of the story, the climax of the storm, it's really bad. It's really storming, right? However, and you may be complaining about the storm itself instead of seeing, like, well, I'm grateful that God didn't flood my house or my house didn't burn down, those type of things. So, going through my own storm that I'm currently been going through, um, especially, when you have children, you complain. You're like, especially when you've been going through the storm for a long time, you complain. And so was it, long ago, because there's nothing new under the sun. So, and so was it with the children of Israel, okay, which is still what we're dealing with at this very moment. Um, there's been complaints, right? Like, why is it I'm still going through this? It's been a long time, it's been a long storm, long journey, right? Not realizing that God is doing a new thing within you. And so that's what you have to do. As I speak to myself, my own spirit, this is also for you, okay? So you also have to keep that in mind, that the reason why it's like that is because God is doing something new, and God is doing it in the face of your enemies, okay, in the presence of your enemies. God is setting up a table in the presence of your enemies, okay? Sometimes you might feel like it's shorter, and I'm speaking through about this through the book of Deuteronomy, okay? Like when the children of Israel were going through, right? They had already reached to the other side, but stuff still wasn't all the way right, right? They're trying to get to the promised land, right? And they were complaining and complaining and complaining. And so it took them 40 years, right, to get there because they kept complaining. Okay, and so that's what I'm trying to keep in mind with myself as I speak to you. Don't complain, okay? Just be thankful, because the truth is, especially for those that have the ability to see the future, the truth is that you've already seen the other side of it. God has allowed some to see the other side of this, to see you get to the other side. You're just in the process of getting there. God already knows that it's already going to work out for you. You're just in the process of getting there. You have to mentally get there first. That's why God said renew your mind. Everything is going to always go back to renewing your mind. You have to renew your mind. Just be thankful. Be in the energy that has already taken place. That's what, okay, so, and that's where the esoteric, how they say it, that's where they come in on that, okay, about keeping your chakras aligned and keeping all that going. Why? Because that is the way, okay, to keep yourself, that's being in a state of gratitude, already envisioning that it's already happened. You can't really do nothing from a lower energy, okay. I'm not going to talk about those. I'm talking about sugar and how it affects you. I might as well say it because I'm talking about things right now. So I had an ice cream. God said I'm doing a new thing, making you new, right? Changing how you eat, how you think, how you live, right? I've changed the way that I eat. I don't really eat sugary things anymore. And I wanted to get, my son was begging me for ice cream, so I went and got ice cream, and it felt like, oh my goodness, it felt so draining and sluggish. It felt so bad. Like, sugar is a drug. I'm gonna say it again. Sugar is a drug. That's why Dr. Sebi said, if you love your kid, if you don't love your kids, if you give them sugar, and I see it because I see how it made me feel. I've been mainly off of natural sugar lately, um, bananas, oranges, all those things. And when I had that ice cream, and I had to go to work after that and see a client for, um, because I teach CPR, and I had to go see a client. I'm like, oh my gosh, like I was so sluggish. It was terrible. So, anyways, don't, um, if you can change your diet, change your diet, leave that sugar alone. I'm telling you, it's gonna make your energy go all the way up. But going back to what I'm saying about the complaining, so like I said in the book of Deuteronomy, it took them a while to get there because they kept complaining. So do not complain. Just be in a state of mind of gratitude and thanking. Ask and believe you shall receive, and then should nothing get in the way of that. Okay. When my child was born premature, and when she was born premature, 1 pound 10 ounces. I reached my hand out, prayed over her while the doctors were doing stuff on her, and I just kept believing. When you're going through these trials, especially at the end of the last quarter, some of us is in the last quarter, okay. Where someone said at game 7, okay, we're at the end of this thing here, okay, and when you've been going through trials for all these years, you're like Joseph. It's like, oh God, and it gets tougher towards the end. The way, the path is narrow to get to the destination. Okay. Remember, you might have been doing all kinds of things in life, and the way I just said, I don't drink coffee anymore. I don't even really eat sugar like that anymore. Okay. That means the way is narrow. Okay. It's small. It's squeezing you. It's squeezing you. It's squeezing you to get through that one narrow spot to get to the pinnacle. Okay. Because that's what we're aiming to do, to be the best version of ourselves, to release all those blessings. Okay. um but yeah, it's like at the end you're squeezing through to get through that gate, get through that get through that gate, because you got those gatekeepers that try to keep that gate closed. Okay. They try to keep that gate closed. That is their job. That's what the enemies, some of them enemies are. They are gatekeepers to keep the gate closed so you can't get to the kingdom. There you go, God. So you cannot get to the kingdom of heaven. Okay. They don't want you to get through the kingdom and have your whole self be there. You might have peeked through, you know what I'm saying? Got a little taste or experience of it, but you want to feel the whole thing, and how you have to so you got to make some changes, okay? And people are going to talk about you, like you hear people say, they talk about you because they don't know this new you. They don't know how to approach this new you. They're going off of what they thought was you. Someone also told me, years ago, was that there's thousands of different versions of you to other people. Some people might see you as a hoe. Some people might see you as dumb. Some people might see you as snobby. Some people, and none of it may be true. That's just how they see you, because they're only seeing it from their point of view, from what's going on in the back of their mind. They're actually projecting on to you what's really the truth about themselves. Okay? That's why you got to be careful. All right? About what you think of others. I try my best. It's been a tough road, I'm telling you. When there's a lot coming up against you, like Samson, okay? There's a lot coming up against you. All them enemies coming up against you. It's hard. You got to push it out, okay? Because, again, you got these energies that come within you, and they try to keep them gates closed, okay? That's the whole point of going through some of this, all right? It's a test. It's a test to see, are you going to allow them to keep the gate closed? The gate to what? To the kingdom of heaven. It does start with you. You have to have peace within yourself. Free your mind, and the rest will follow. That's what Invoke say. Listen to the words. Free your mind, then the rest will follow. Okay? You have to renew your mind. Free your mind. And then the rest will follow. All right? So anyways, I hope that this helped. What I'm saying is stop complaining. Okay? Because we are the children of Israel. Okay? You are the children of Israel. Okay? So free your mind. Okay? Quit complaining. It's a reason for everything. It's a reason for everything.